last name ever, first name greatest. We're handing out trophies tonight. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're still having a great night. And as we heard from Austin earlier in the show, Montana State, they lost to Grambling State 88-81 in the NCAA tournament. Let's get right into some highlights. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you're having a great night. Obviously, it's a big week for college basketball with the NCAA tournament starting, but two Montana teams are playing in a different college tournament, one in particular.
In our Frontier Conference expert, Jack Marshall. Jack, I know really a tough result tonight, but really just was quite the run for the Argos.
Yeah, Sean, obviously not the desired result for Providence in the game, but it was still a great season for the Argos. First time they ever made it to the semifinals and the finals in the NAIA, and they also returned a bunch of talented freshmen, so this really could be the start of a dynasty for the Argos. After beating Boise State in the first round the WNIT on Wednesday, it has been announced where the Montana Grizzlies will play next. The Lady Grizz will travel to Fargo to take on North Dakota State this Monday in the round of 32. The two teams haven't played since the 2021-2022 season, where they split the games. NDSU also beat MSU this season. And if you are a Big Sky Conference men's basketball fan, you may be recognizing some familiar faces who used to play and coach in the conference in this year's NCAA tournament, but one player in particular has made a huge jump from the Big Sky. This season has been nothing short of spectacular for the Box Elder boys basketball team. The Bears have gone undefeated and won their first Northern C divisional title in 8 years.
Northern C basketball is awesome. It's great to be a part of it, and I got a great group of kids, great coaching staff, and a lot of blessings in life, so just fortunate to be here.
On the court, it's easy to see why the Bears are successful, as they run a high-speed, full-court trapping defense that creates turnovers and leads to fast break opportunities.
It's really fun to play with, especially when you got the crowd behind your back. Gives you another gear just sprinting back and forth. You don't really feel tired around the crowd.
Obviously we're trying to speed up the tempo of the game. We just want to keep replicating that effort.
Box Elder also has some fun style, as most players wear some colorful kicks, and a lot of the team has dyed their hair blonde.
Me and my teammates just thought it'd be a kind of cool way to bond together and just look apart, I guess. Most of the guys did it, other than maybe two people.
A lot of them dyed their hair blonde, I guess. So what did you think of that?
No comment.
And the best may be yet to come for the Bears, as a lot of their key players, like guard Trayson Jalot, are only juniors.
It's been really fun, I feel like the whole team's really bonded together and just bought in, put our egos aside and just played together really unselfishly.
Box Elder will look for its first state championship since 2016 at the Class C state tournament in Great Falls starting March 6th. For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. The Capitol High wrestling team heads to state this week hoping to make a statement and bring home some state titles. And for two of the Bruin wrestlers, that goal is within reach, starting with sophomore Taylor Lay, who became the first ever girls wrestler to bring home a title to Helena last year when she shocked the state to win the 120-pound division as only a freshman. This season, Lay has stood atop the class and has a good opportunity to make it back-to-back titles this weekend.
I have to tell myself that I trust my abilities and I'm prepared for this, and just let the match go how it's going to go and finish out strong.
And she came in, has worked hard the entire season. She's had a lot of success. She's won several of the tournaments that leading up to this state tournament. So I think she's in an even better position than she was a year ago.
On the boys' side, it has been Cole Graham making headlines. After finishing fourth in the state tournament a year ago, the junior heads into this year as the top-ranked wrestler in the 182 weight class.
Take it one match at a time, control what I can control, and just go out and wrestle and enjoy the experience and see what happens.
And the week heading into the state tournament hasn't been normal for Graham, as he got a football offer from Montana Tech, before heading to junior day at Montana State.
Definitely the junior day at MSU was cool for him, and he's excited about it, but he's really focused on these next 4 or 5 matches. Hopefully it's only 4 matches in Billings.
Graham, Lay, and 16 other Bruin wrestlers will compete starting Friday in Billings at the state tournament. For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. After losing 9 seniors and bringing in an entirely new rotation, the Capitol High boys basketball team had a lot of obstacles to overcome if it wanted to meet its goal to return to the state tournament after missing it a season ago. But the team got hot at the right time and qualified for the Class AA state tournament.
To see them really embrace the struggle, not worry about the adversity, but get through that adversity and conquer it, play better and better, and then go to a divisional tournament and play as well as we did to get that reward to go to state. Rewarding is the word I would use.
After losing in the divisional semifinals last weekend, the Bruins had a win and make state or lose and go home game against the Big Sky Eagles. And after a back-and-forth contest, Capital earned a 58-50 victory.
Well, it was real exciting when we finally beat Big Sky. That's who beat us last year to keep us from going to state. So it's always nice to win that. And it was hard playing in the morning. You know, morning game is tough, but we came out and we showed what we could do. So glad we could win that one.
It was really exciting. I mean, we had just lost to them the last week too. So it felt really good to beat those guys, and making it to state from that just makes it so much better.
Looking ahead, the Bruins will battle against Billings West in the state tournament, a team they lost to in their 3rd game of the season.
Both teams are completely different, there's no question. That was in December, which was seems like years ago. So they're a very athletic team. We need to be able to handle their pressure.
I think we can beat anybody, so you know, just optimistic and just got to go there and play our best, and yeah.
Capital will tip off against the Bears at 8 p.m. on March 7th. For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. Undefeated Box Elder trying to stop a three-peat from Manhattan Christian on the boys side of things, and in the girls, Seiko Whitewater Hinsdale looking for 2 in a row and 2 undefeated seasons in a row, but they gotta beat Roy Winifred. It was standing room only in Great Falls. Let's get right to the highlights. Back and forth game. Mason Venema gets the bucket there. Eagles up by 2 at the break. But on the other end, Trayson July. He was playing out of his mind for the Bears. Hitting threes, getting layups, and then in the 3rd quarter, they go on a huge run. He gets this big dunk. He gets 35 points, 5 assists, 6 steals. Skip ahead to late in the game. A 3-pointer by the Eagles makes it a 2-point ball game, but then driving baseline, Matthias Blackbird gets the game-win layup to go. Box Elder wins 68-64. The Bears are undefeated state champs.
This feels like amazing. It's like surreal. I can't even describe this at all. It's been dreaming of this my whole life, been working for it. It feels so good.
Now over to the girls' game. Last time coaching for legendary head coach Marietta Boyce for Roy Winifred, and we had a back-and-forth ball game in this one. At halftime, it was Seiko Whitewater Hinsdale who had the lead by 6. Then, interesting development. Seiko star Tegan Erickson, she gets a bloody nose, but if anything, it motivates the Mavericks. They go on a tear in the second half. Erickson finishes with 16, while her star teammate Paige Wasson drops 18. The Mavericks, they're state champion. They still haven't lost since 2022.
Amazing, especially being with these girls that I've grown up with. I've played with them since I was little, and it's just amazing to go back-to-back with them.
For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. Well, we got Crosstown Part 2 here at Helena High, and the rivalry is always going to be present, but this year, Capitol High boys and girls will be looking to avoid a sweep as the Helena High teams beat them last time over in the Bears' Den. Starting with the boys, not only are the Bengals looking for a sweep, but to make it 4 in a row against the Bruins. And starting things off, Cole Dawes helps Capital come out hot, goes to work in the paint. A few possessions later, it's Dawes again. Bruins up 9 early. But here come the Bengals. Tevin Wetzel, pump fake, 3-ball, good to go. And then the momentum Caesar. Jackson Lieberg rocks the rim, and the Bengals win 52-46.
Feels amazing. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Probably the atmosphere in here is insane. It's been 2 years in a row that we swept them both time, or at least varsity did, but it feels great. It feels awesome.
Over to the girls now, where the Bruins are trying to stop a 4-game losing skid. Meanwhile, Helena High has won 7 of its last 8 games. In the first quarter, it's Anna Cockhill driving and getting the tough bucket for Capital, but quickly to answer is Grace Mergel. The corner 3, Bengals up 6 after 1. Then Taylor Sayers looks for an answer and gets it to go off the glass, but the second half belonged to Helena High. Maddie Todorovich cashes in from downtown. Helena High wins 47-34, and the Bengals sweep Crosstown. Well, it's time for some Frontier Conference basketball in the PE Center. Rocky Mountain travels to Helena looking for a road win. Meanwhile, Carroll looking to shake off a loss. Starting things off, Andrew Cook finds Zane Foster for the statement dunk early. Then Isaiah Moore says more points for Carroll. He gets the three-pointer to go. Saints up 22-11. Trying to regain some ground for Rocky, Jesse Owens finds Maxime Stevens in the post for the easy layup. But that was one of only 2 points for him. Then Derek Kramer with the jam for Carroll, and the Saint students are loving it on whiteout night. And right before half, Kendall Moore drives and won. The Dayton sensation and the Saints lead 44-30 at the break. In the second half, trying to get a comeback, Jesse Owens gets the transition layup to go, but the night belonged to Carroll. James Lang with the corner 3 gives out some high fives afterwards, and Carroll wins 77-70.
Just the whole mission, goal today was just to redeem ourselves from Thursday, and we started off with a great start, kind of slowed down in the second half, but we pulled it out.
Saints will take on MSU Northern on Thursday. For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall. Coach, we need you to send one of your players to a speed dating event, right? And if they come back from the speed dating event with a date, one of your players on the team, then you get the trophy. You win the national championship. But if they don't come back from the speed dating event with a date, then maybe the other team gets it, or their player comes back with a date. So who on the Saints do we think could go to a speed dating event and come out and win you guys a national tournament by maybe securing a date?
Well, I'm just going to go based on what the guys always say. Okay. They say James Lang is a ladies' man. I'm sure it's that curly hair and those blue eyes he's got. He's popular with the ladies, so I'm going to defer to the players, and we'll go with James Lang.
I'm Ellie, and this is Mic'd Up with the Saints. Let's see how this goes. Oh, squeeze, sorry. That's a hole. Judy. I got 99 problems, but you won't be one. But softball ain't one. Oh, weight room. Oh, Jeannie. P.O. hits. I can always see him coming from my left and from the right. Kennedy Venner is one of my most favorite people alive. She makes me laugh harder than anybody else in the entire world. And, also great pitcher. Crush. Oh, dang it. What's everything's favorite thing about Coach Shauna Juarez?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I was totally zoned out.
Do an art heist with your team, maybe, or a few players in your team. Of course, you're the coach, so you have to be the one who's kind of like in the kind of the boss who's in the van calling things out with the screens. But you need maybe one or two of your players to be the people in the museum. They're stealing like a Da Vinci or a Van Gogh, something real nice. So who on your team do you think would make a really good art thief, like in a classic movie?
Oh, geez. Well, Erica is super sneaky, and she's fast, and she's very unassuming. So I think Erica wouldn't, nobody would target her as an art thief. I'd say Erica, she could run in there, probably get it out of there pretty quick. Maddie is the most mischievous on our team, so she would nominate herself to be involved in that for sure. And then Jamie wouldn't let Maddie go in alone. So I think I would put our 3 seniors up to that. We'd have Erica's quickness and and smarts, and then the other two would most definitely get caught, but they would be the ones wanting to be in on the action.